Okay, so, you know, in retrospect, I call it an after action review of looking at the webinar uh, for the introduction to tribal leadership. Um, and we had such a phenomenal moment, it's like we said before, we have these moments that take your breath away, that 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 the product that we created was actually helping, very specifically helping um, Brittany. She spoke about it after we had meetings. After the meeting, we had Trey from where's Trey from Costa Rica.
Yeah.
He was just jacked up. He's like, man, this is just freaking awesome. Da 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 da. We're all on the same page, and so the feedback was great, but the quantity of people was different. And this is really for those 65 people that were there, that we were all united as one. This is for all the 70 some people that are in our secret Facebook page. This is for every um, ISOD graduate, right? And what this is this idea that we are united by our experiences, that we are one by our journey, what I call our health journey. Every single one of us is having a parallel walk, and somewhere along the line we meet one another, and we recognize we are all travelers in the same direction. So um, watching some watching some videos, looking at some different information, what I really want to send across the message with the presentation is that there's such value in these conversations that we've been having, the five of us, all the people that have come and gone as being part of the core team that we've called the Costa Rica Project. These aspects, the moments that nobody else sees but we experience, there's such value in it. The hours invested and the nights without sleep and all those things that we do, um, the money lost. And I don't want to put it on that. I'm just saying there's such value that we make sacrifices for it. And I want everybody to have that recognition. I want everybody to have that connection. And so to that end, because there wasn't enough um, quantity of people, I have to recognize that I failed to put that value up front. So I'm doing that now. I want to put the value in that you are more important than the 12 bucks, than the $100 out that the Costa Rica would produce or per person if you come to all five. But what's more important is that you understand the language, that you understand the mission, that you understand the mindset that it takes to get to that place that we all want to be. It's That's where the real value is. That's why um, I, and we have requested to change it to handing it to you for free, so that because you are more important than the couple bucks. I want you there. You need to hear this stuff so that you can vibe with the rest of the tribe. That's really what I'm getting at. And um, and I'm speaking on the I side, but there is a we behind me. There's four other people here that um, are supportive, that have the same feeling and the same commitment. Uh, we are going to do more of sharing what happens and in our life, so that you can see and what you see. You can see what you're missing, and all you're missing is just the hangout time. We're just putting a little bit of more practical and professional approach to the hangout time, so that it can produce something that we can all benefit. And just think about this. Think about monetizing all of our skills, monetizing all of our passions for the very reason that we're bonded together, right? We're bonded by our passion. But if we could monetize that and create something that sponsors our trips, to get together. That to me is worth investing time and money and whatever it takes to create that. That's the ideal. That's what I'm hunting for.
What would you say to somebody who did not attend the first webinar?
I would say that please go through and watch the whole section of that webinar. It gives you a basic introduction, but the thing that we never captured was the meeting after the meeting. Though the hour and a half, almost 2 hours of conversation with other people, that was not recorded. The webinar will give you the basis for why we're doing it and how and why we picked this book, why we picked this language, because it's not just about the small group of people, it's about leaving a legacy that goes beyond us. That's what I would tell you.
And the book you're referring to, Tribal Leadership, that's not big corporation This isn't that type of book, is it?
It really isn't. As a matter of fact, it's anti big corporation. It's the opposite. It's saying, look, let's take those ideas of achievement and let's bring it back to the simple tribal sophistication, if you will. You know, in that seminar, I talk about something called fractals. And that is something that we can all identify with, because in nature, we see fractals everywhere. You see a pattern being repeated and it expands exponentially. That's the signature of God. And that's what the African tribes are like in the way they build things. So it's the opposite. It's not about being, you know, industrial revolution mindset. It's not about being backwards. It's about that a book that says you can live the life you've always wanted to live with the people you've always wanted to be with under the conditions that you decide you want to have. That's the book. That's what the book is about.
Something that I haven't shared with this group. Okay, so like the Tribal Leadership book, it gives us pretty much just a new frame of reference for verbiage, which then helps to shape our experience, really. Something that was passed on to me by one of the greatest humans to still be alive, in my opinion, Lee Scratch Perry. He, if you're not familiar with him, he is the gentleman who brought and recorded and produced the original Bob Marley and Peter Tosh works, the Wailers, the Upsetters, on and on and on. He has created all sorts of devices for sound, and one of the most high recording artists, most high like consciousness on the face of the planet. And every show it's basically he comes around to teach his people. And a couple shows ago that I caught, he did this like lecture on one of his big things is language and how important it is. And so he went into business, and he's like, look at the word business. It has sin right in the middle of it. He's like, so I will put out to you, we have the ability to completely change the language in any way, shape, or form that we choose, and we can still maintain the same sound. So shout it out with me. And he's like, BIZNEZZ, and he's like, there, you have the new business. And it was like, damn, that's heavy, bro. And this is coming, he's like freaking 75 years old, well-weathered man. But I really, when it was introduced to me, the tribal leadership thing, it was like, that was what really set in. It's like, this is the new verbiage. This is taking the sin out of business.
You know what that is? You're probably not familiar with it, but that is one thing that Kabbalah is really good at. It breaks down the words and the meanings and the number behind the weight of a word. So every letter becomes like a chemical composition. Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful thing about Hebrew. Hebrew already has that. And when you speak in the Hebrew, you're not just speaking, you are conveying an idea. Every letter has an image and a story. And it tells you that this one letter came up to the Most High and he said, let me go to the world. Let me tell them who you are. And because I'm good at this and I'm good at that. And then the Most High says, because you have spoken truth about this, that, and the other, go forth and be this. So can you imagine that? Every letter having a story, a legend unto itself. So when you put them together, it's mind-boggling. For example, lion. Lion comes from strength. Lion, in the Hebrew, it comes from the roar of the animal. Right, when you write it backwards, it's the word for fear in the Hebrew. Isn't that amazing? So you look at a lion and you do what? Yeah, I'm out of here. So when we captivate and we take control of our language, and every word that we say has meaning, we have ascended to a higher level. We no longer are speaking. This is how we were intended to speak in the very beginning. We spoke to animals and we spoke with all of our being. Okay, got me jacked up. Settle down, Hector. Sit down.